My special message for Jack is to thank him for saving my life when I was really in need. I'm sitting behind or in front of a painting that says, "I say save me, somebody save me, anybody save me." And I chose to sit in front of this painting because I want Jack to know that he saved me when I was really, really sick 10 years ago and my endocrine system wasn't working and I was extremely depressed. Without Jack's help, we wouldn't have been able to find the care to get me alive and to get me well. And so Jack, my special message to you is thank you. Thank you. I love you and I'm grateful for you. We all are. You're an amazing man and thank you for all you do for our community, and congratulations on your retirement from the Vail Health Foundation.
All of us that really loved him, we knew that he was here with us always. And it just never stopped. So with all that in my back pocket, I'm thrilled to say thank you, Jack.
Jack, my hopes and dreams for you is that you can just sit and look in the mirror every day and say, I've lived a good life, I've helped a lot of people, I've served my community, I've been a good husband, and I've been a good community leader.
Jack, I remember meeting you as a rookie on Vail Ski Patrol, and they warned us that you were going to hold us to a high medical standard, and you did. You inspired me to dedicate my career to emergency medical services, and you even wrote my letter of recommendation to paramedic school. 20 or so years later, it was an honor to serve on your 2015 Alpine Ski Championships Medical Committee, and an even greater honor to consider you as a close personal friend. Best of luck to you in your retirement.
Jack, I've loved knowing you through Steve, through my work at the Vail Valley Foundation, and working alongside you on the Vail Health Foundation board. You taught me great things can happen when the Vail Valley comes together for something that we care about. And you taught me that all you need is passion and a plan, and you humbly led the charge. Thank you for all that you've done. I'd also like to take a moment to talk about your lovely wife, Kathleen, who's been an incredible mentor to me. She's beautiful on the inside and out. The two of you are a force of generosity, kindness, and decency in our community. Congratulations, Jack, on your retirement.
Okay, Jack, I guess this is it. I'm glad I'm still here to say thank you for all the things you did for our family, and I hope you can live a long, long time with me and enjoy your life here, and you and Kathleen have a good time, and maybe we'll see you on the mountain.
Well, we have known Jack since 1970, early 70s anyway.
Maybe 72 or 3.
You know, when he came and he was first a ski patrolman. So we have known Jack before that, and then when, of course, after that, when he set up his office, and he has been our doctor and our family doctor for many, many years, you know. So that's where we have known Jack, you know. Our memories about Jack, as far as I'm concerned, is fishing together at Skylark, you know, and Skylark, Jack and I, we'd go fishing together, and we just had wonderful time, you know, I mean, catching fish and enjoying the beauty of nature, and just everything was just so fine. As far as the message to Jack, I want to tell him one thing: stay well, because the 80th birthday, we celebrated our 70th birthday together in France. Now I'm planning the 80th, and he has to be there. So Jack, stay well, okay? And here's Liz.
Hi, Jack. Well, you know, I never, of course, went fishing with you, but I remember from way back, and it was obviously after Vietnam, so I'm not quite sure when Vietnam was and when you actually came to Vail, but it was certainly the early 70s. And when you came along as doctor, I thought, oh, good, because, you know, Tom Steinberg was great, but you're greater because you're internal medicine. But there was, at one time, in the early 70s, very early, we were down valley, and of course there was no Avon. There was a gas station at Edwards, and in Eagle they had a banner across the road. This was before the highway was built, so it was the Highway 6, and there was a banner across the road saying, Eagle
County.
County needs a doctor. And then,
That was in 1970.
was it? Well, anyway, so you sort of became the doctor. And I remember you did actually come to Luke and ask him if you could help him financially to set up a practice. And so Luke said, sure, how much do you want? So Jack told him, and Luke went into the office and wrote a check and gave it to him. And a year later or so, he came back, and I think he was asking for more money. No? What was
he
it?
was just asking if he could, the loan, he could go for another year. And I told Jack, I said, Jack, last week I wanted to come and see you. And your office told me that you had no vacancy for another 1 full week. So I think you're doing so well. Now you pay me my money back. Thank you.
But we've got friendly with him over the years, a little bit with his private life, not really too much. I do remember him coming to the left bank, and as he was our doctor, I always with a young lady, and I would always put him in what the young couple or couples like to sit at, because it's sort of a romantic table and so on. And I was always trying not to look at him when I went by, so I didn't want him to think I was watching him and so on. But then we started having him to dinner, and then of course when he married Kathleen, that was the best thing. That was really, I think, made his life. I mean, he can't do it without her. And so, he's just become a very respected dear friend as far as the foundation is concerned, and the philanthropy, that part of it.
Jack's Place is amazing. We have given to Jack's Place because that was, I think, a brilliant idea.
Yeah, I don't know whose idea it was, but the other thing was so nice. Maybe 4 or 5 times a year, he would just get a card, and of course it was one of Charmaine's cards, and he would just write a note on there of such appreciation for what we have, we've done for the hospital, and he even mentions the community and things like that. I mean, he didn't have to take his time to do that, but it was so warm, and I think that's why, we just, I hope to see more of him now. Maybe, except he's down valley. I mean, we go and get his raspberries and things like that. But anyway, Jack, it's been wonderful to have you as a friend, as a doctor. And by the way, back in 98, Luke was having problems with his back, and he had an MRI and so on, and they were looking at his body, and after Luke was he was in the operating or something. I don't know what Dr. Corman was doing, but anyway, I went to get him, and Jack pulled me in the side in the office and said, I must just warn you. And he showed me the X-rays, and he said he has either multiple myeloma or something cytoma. I forget the first word of the cytoma. But as soon as I heard the cytoma, I knew it was bad, and he was spot on. He was right, and he arranged for us, for Luke, to see Dr. Rifkin, who became the first doctor at Shaw Cancer Center.
That's right, and he did a wonderful job.
We go back a long way, and I'm sure you're going to be so missed in that office. But maybe Kathleen will be able to see more of you, and good luck.
Thank you, Jack. Thanks for everything.
Thank you.
Sometime before I had the privilege of working directly with Dr. Ack, his influence and his work touched my family. In 2009, my wife Stacy was diagnosed with breast cancer, and in 2010, she received the bulk of her treatment at the Shaw Cancer Center. To this day, I am thankful and amazed and gratified that we have such a facility for folks here in the Vail Valley, and that's a direct reflection, one reflection of Jack's passion and his vision. Thankfully, I did get to work with Jack when he drafted me for the home care and hospice board several years ago. And over the past several years, I've seen firsthand Jack's unique combination of passion and calm logic. He's one of those individuals who frankly has influenced me and who set an example for me of work on behalf of our community. Jack, about a year ago, I remember you sending me a note of thanks for my work alongside you and in the community. Please know that I look upon you as a mentor and as a standard of excellence in all things. Thank you.
Hi Jack, congratulations on reaching this wonderful milestone in your life and your career. I love you very much and you've always supported me. And I hope that in your retirement, you're going to get to spend more time with me. Love you.
So Jack, well, I'm sorry that you retire, but I know you're going to be around, and you have been the most important man in our lives, in Pepe's and mine, because not only as a friend, but also as a doctor. Nobody I remember or will ever see who acted and has been for people 24 hours if you need it. And what you have done for Pepe, and Pepe, you just kept him alive with your friendship and your health and everything. And no wonder that you called him Pepe's your hobby. Well, it happens he was mine too, but you know what it is. And the trips we made, it just brought back so many wonderful memories, like when we went to Austria, and you couldn't believe that every corner had a shop and it says egg on it. Well, I guess Kufstein was made out of eggs, and so is Vail. And then the bicycle trips we made. And now that you are retiring, you know, we hope we're going to have more fun together, or maybe we can plan another river trip on the Donau in Austria, or we can go to Italy with the e-bikes. That would be something great for us to do, wouldn't it? Well, anyway, I love you, Jack.
And then you got to remember what Shaika always tells you. When you toast, you have to look in the person's eyes.
Are you going first?
I'd like to propose a toast to Jack Eck, one of my oldest friends and one of the most respected people in Vail.
In today's world, friendship is a treasure, and it's rare. Thank you, Jack, for being our friend.
Jack, it's I guess it's been 54, well, I've been here 54 years. 50 years I've known you, and it's I'd like to hang on to you for another 54. So, Jack, you're a great person. You're a true believer in the dream here, and you had a lot to do with making that dream come true.
Cheers. We'll miss you, Jack.
But you're not going anyplace.
Jack, it's an honor to pay tribute to you and to celebrate your many contributions to the Vail Valley. We worked together on the Shaw Outreach Team to create the Cancer Caring House, later named for you. You provided an understanding of the community that was the foundation of our efforts. You are our quiet motivator, encouraging us and giving us confidence. You are kind and caring and embody the values we felt were important in providing housing and support for patients being treated at the Shaw. So it was natural and appropriate to name Jack's place for you. Your well-deserved retirement is here. Your involvement with behavioral health will continue, for you are the gift to all of us that keeps on giving.
Jack, you are a hero to so many people. Those you have helped with your amazing medical diagnostic skills and your warm bedside manner. You were always there to make sure that your patients were compassionately cared for. You were there when our community needed a cancer center to treat the increasing number of people with cancer in our valley. Your wisdom and grace in securing the lead donation for the cancer center has saved so many lives. And most near and dear to my heart is your inspiration and guidance for a small group of women who became the Shaw Outreach Team, and for our vision to create a cancer center for patients and their family. You are always there. Let me do that one again. That's fine. And most near and dear to my heart is your inspiration, guidance, and support for the small group of women who became the Shaw Outreach Team, and for our vision to create a cancer caring house for patients and their families. You were always there to encourage us, to counsel us, and to help us prepare for the many hurdles we had to jump through to make Jack's Place a reality. When we went to the hospital board, when we went to the county, when we reached out to the community for support, you were always there with a smile and unwavering support. We never could have built Jack's Place without you. So many people have been helped and supported by Jack's Place, and the lives of all of the SOT members have been enriched by you and your efforts to help us. Jack, you are a hero to me, and I will always treasure our friendship and your wisdom. Thank you for being a hero to so many in our valley and beyond.
You know, Jack and Kathleen, it's such a pleasure to know you for all of these years. And in addition to the community, you've made my life a lot richer knowing you and being around you. And you know, Jack, with your medical practice, you've kept the shiny side up, and I've really appreciated that. But more so, I just appreciate your friendship and kindness, and look forward to being around with you many more years.
You have always been a legend to me, Jack. Since I was a little boy, I remember your name being spoken with respect and almost reverence in our home. My parents, Moose and Ann Taylor, were kept in good health for many years as you came up to their house in the mountain to diagnose and treat their medical needs. You were the go-to guy whose phone number was kept close at hand. Fast forward to recent years, I feel like I found a long-lost friend. As Michelle and I have spent more and more time with you and Kathleen, my love for Vail and Eagle Valley has grown immensely. You share mountain and outdoor stories and remembrances about the early days and adventures in Vail Village with all of its colorful characters, which have been both incredibly entertaining and prophetic. We have loved listening to your stories, one after the other, about the history of patients and friends who have asked you what they can do to help Vail community. One by one, you have guided your generosity to help the pressing needs of the growing community, whether Vail Health or Shaw Cancer Center, or buying defibrillators or incubators for newborn babies, and even overseeing the medical responsibilities of international racing events. It was you who stepped up, made the commitment, the difference, and helped immeasurably with the Vail Eagle community. When I asked you 3 years ago what were the greatest needs of the Vail Valley other than housing, you described to me the mental health needs of the community, specifically Eagle Valley Behavioral Health and the Hope Center. You are the reason that I have made financial and personal time commitments to these organizations. What I did not know until you began sharing your life experiences was that your journey to mental health after returning from Vietnam may have been a motivating factor behind the desire to see EVBH and Hope Center thrive. I too have had my own unique journey regarding PTSD and am immensely empathetic with what you've had to endure in Vietnam, and as a result, I join you in your support of the Vail Health Foundation and its support of EVBH and all other partnering organizations throughout Eagle County. There is a quote, Jack, that really sums up how we, my wife and I, feel about you. At the end of the day, it is not about what you have or even what you have accomplished. It's about what you've done with those accomplishments. It's about who you've lifted up, who you've made better. It is about what you've given. There is no better way to describe our deep respect for you and all you have done and how much we've enjoyed your friendship. Many, many congratulations to you, Jack. With much affection, Michelle and Craig Taylor.
Yes, I first met Jack when I had a problem of fatigue, And Johannes Fessler, when I was living at the Sun and Help, said, I'm going to send you over to see Jack Eck. That's about 25 years ago. So I got this examination. I first met Jack at the hospital, and he said, Harvey, I'm going to have to keep you here. I said, what's the problem? Your salt content is down at 117. A very dangerous level. I can't let you out until we straighten this out. I was at the danger level. So I could say Jack bringing me back to normal after 3 days, probably, I'm going to get dramatic, probably, if anything, was saving my life. I couldn't get much lower. And just seeing Jack for those 3 days, I really got to know him. And as a Second World War veteran and Korean War veteran, and when I was with the 6th Fleet, I happened to share a cabin with the ship's doctor. So knowing Jack's history in Vietnam and as a medical doctor and having served with a medical doctor, it was a real simpatico there. But Jack was very special. You know, everybody has a touch, and of all the doctors I've ever met, I think Jack had the softest touch. I think he became everybody's friend after anyone would meet Jack at medical treatment or just get to know him socially. And I've skied with Jack. I know in the early days he served on the mountain as a on-duty medical doctor, and I even had an experience there where one of my friends got hurt crashing into someone, and Jack just happened to come along. He was on duty that day. I said, Jack, I have a patient up on the mountain here, and would you take a look at him? And he did. So that was another fan he got after he treated him. He just had the softest personality. Of course, he's married to this wonderful woman, Kathleen, and we're friends with her too. So, you know, and everybody, I never met anybody that didn't have something nice to say about Jack. And I see what's going on now in this period when everybody's going to honor Jack. And you hear from everybody that everybody wants to be involved. So God bless, that should be a wonderful thing. And he certainly deserves it. Running the cancer center with Charlene. So God bless Jack.
Good afternoon, Jack. It's Marky Butler. It's been a long time since I last saw you, but I just happened to have heard a little rumor that you were retiring in December. Needless to say, I got on the Vail Daily, and sure enough, there was a wonderful article about you retiring from all your duties at Vail Health. But let's start our journey. Our journey began in 2008. I was introduced to you after receiving a phone call from, I do think it was Joe, who at that time was executive director of the Shaw Cancer Center, talking about Mountain Hospice and also about Vail Valley Home Health, which in essence were in the process of probably closing. As we all know, back in 2008, there was a lot of changes in reimbursement as well as regulatory guidelines for home health and hospice. Very rigorous changes for all of us who were in the industry. Needless to say, a small hospice or a small home health company really were going to be challenged to be financially viable. So as we began to talk there at the Shaw Cancer Center in Joe's office, we began to talk about how we could put a program together that would serve over 6,000 square miles, both for the Vail Valley and also one for the Roaring Fork Valley. Roaring Fork was, the program in Roaring Fork was only about 3 months old. It had just gone through Medicare and Medicaid certification, But when I took the idea to our board of directors, their first question was to me, how can we not do this? We need to extend our nonprofit mission and align with this wonderful two organizations, Mountain Hospice and Vail Home Health. So to that end, in 2009, we completed the transaction, and you became part of the board of Home Care and Hospice of the Valley. Your voice was constantly heard by all the board members and all of the key staff at the Home Care and Hospice of the Valley. You clearly shared your goals, you clearly shared your values, and your compassion about taking care of all of our patients, whether they be home health or end-of-life patients. I learned a lot from you, Jack. I learned the history of Mountain Hospice that you pioneered and started many, many years ago with Mary Hosa and a whole cadre of wonderful volunteers who I came to know over the years I've worked in the Vail Valley. Jack, I want you to know that there were very few hospice programs in rural America, and most importantly in Western Colorado, when you started Mountain Hospice. Clearly, you had a vision. You were going to live that vision. You were going to live that mission along with all of the ones who pioneered with you to create such a wonderful organization. I really want to thank you for that. One thing I also learned in all of your tenure on the board of directors of Home Care and Hospice of the Valley is that you care. You care tremendously about all patients. You care tremendously about the community. And I've also learned over the years that your love for the Vail Valley is just ungodly to even fathom how much you are loved and how much you are respected in the Vail community. I only wish that I could step into your shoes for one small second and see and walk with you in your shoes of all the many paths that you have created over the years. I want you to know that it's very hard for me to even fathom that you are going to be retiring. My question is, what's your next journey? What's your next mission? Perhaps it might be skiing a lot more, traveling a lot with Kathleen, but I see you coming into something new, a new program, new service for the Vail Valley. Everyone in Vail Valley adores you. Everyone in the Roaring Fork Valley cherishes you. You have been a real pioneer for healthcare, whether it be the Shaw Cancer Center, Jack's Place, Mountain Hospice, your work on the mountain as a ski patrol. You are a dear, dear soul, and I really care deeply about you. So please know, I see you as a gentle giant. I also see you as a gentle man and a gentleman. Everyone will miss you terribly, as you have always strolled through the halls of the Vail Health programs. Please have a good time when you retire. Spend time smelling the roses, and spend time with that beautiful wife of yours, Kathleen. I wish you all the best, and cheers to your successful retirement. Again, Marky Butler over here at Snowmass Village. Thank you, Jack. Thank you for everything you have done. All the best.